so please welcome Bringin.
Hey everyone, good afternoon. I'm Prashant, founder and CEO of Bringin. Bringin is a Bitcoin technology company that is bridging banking and Bitcoin to get Bitcoin payments to everyone. I'll start with a story. 2 years ago, I lived in Estonia, and I used to receive a part of my payment in Bitcoin directly into my hardware wallet. It took almost 4 days to liquidate Bitcoin and receive euros into my bank account. At the time, I used Binance because Kraken had altered SEPA withdrawals. It was not only time-consuming, but also it was risky because I used to get constant notifications from Revolut asking for the source of funds. And of course, Binance has a shitty UX for liquidating, and I had to pay fees in every single step. So the main reason for this is banks don't like to work with exchanges. So any euro transfers coming from a crypto exchange or a third-party payment provider that is working with crypto exchanges are considered to be risky. For the same reason, on- and off-ramp providers like MoonPay, Transact struggled several years to implement off-ramp in their product. So I started Bringin to solve this. I've been working in European Bitcoin fintech industry for almost 4 years. Previously, I worked as a first engineer in a company called Lastbit, and we pushed out 2 consumer-facing applications for Europeans that allowed them to buy, sell Bitcoin, pay, receive Lightning invoices, and a MasterCard debit card, which you can top up with Bitcoin Lightning and spend anywhere. So I not only understand Bitcoin Lightning on a technical level, but I also understand banking rails, and more importantly, compliance, tying everything together. I started Bringin, but it was a really rough first year. So it was a terrible bear market, and I had to sell all my Bitcoin in the worst possible price to bootstrap Bringin. At the time, I lived in Estonia, and my visa was attached to my employment. And I had a choice to either give up my life in Estonia, move back to India, or stay employed in India. So I moved back to India, and you can imagine building and taking a product live in a highly regulated space, working remotely from India, was not easy. But I did it anyways. So today, we have happy customers, including me, who can liquidate Bitcoin from any Lightning wallet or custodial wallets to receive euros into any bank account instantly and reliably in just 3 steps. So we've onboarded over 700 early adopters who have transacted about 9 Bitcoin. The transactions ranging from 10 euros to 90,000 euros, all happening instantly with no questions asked from the bank account. And we did all this in just 1 year and 2 developers in-house, while my previous company, Lastbit, took 3 years to get the same things done. So here is our unique banking-first approach that we use to provide safer off-ramping. So we provide dedicated IBAN accounts to every users. So now users can send Bitcoin from any of their wallets over Lightning or on-chain to Bringin account. So we convert Bitcoin to euros, deposit to their own IBAN account, and initiate a SEPA instant withdrawal to their personal bank account. So now the receiving bank account sees the transfers are coming from an IBAN account with user's own name, not from Bringin or not from third-party payment providers, making it completely safe by design. So the transfers is as safe as transfers from Wise, Revolut, or any other neobank. So you can see that we support Lightning transfer and SEPA instant transfers. So you can get Bitcoin from your Lightning wallet to any of your bank account, and it could take less than a minute, which is unseen in the world before. And of course, you can top up any Lightning wallet with euros in your IBAN account, which is, again, really cool. So this is what our users say about Bringin. Feels like magic, works like charm, and really impressed, a lot of potential, and users can attest for huge Bitcoin to euro off-ramping. We are working on a disposable virtual card for private and secure online transactions, and a physical debit card for real-world transactions for convenience. With Bitcoin in the self-custody wallet and physical card, users can travel entire world and spend Bitcoin anywhere, even if merchant doesn't accept Bitcoin. We are not just a tool to spend Bitcoin, although we are the best tool to spend Bitcoin. We are much more than that. We are interface between banking and Bitcoin, which means the interface can connect any bank account with any application that has capability to interact with Bitcoin blockchain or Lightning Network. So the IBAN account is part of SEPA, and SEPA Instant Network can reliably and instantly communicate with any of the bank accounts. But we make sure this IBAN account is also compatible with Lightning Network and all the protocols built on Lightning technology like Nostr Wallet Connect, LN addresses, LN URL, Breeze Fiat Link, and more. And of course, we provide APIs so that any of these applications can connect to Bringin and allow their customers to interact with their bank accounts seamlessly in a user experience that has never imagined before. These are our current integrations. Today, an IBAN account can interact with a Lightning node that is running in Blockstream's scalable infrastructure. Thanks to Breeze SDK, completely manageable on phone. And our IBAN account is also Nostr Wallet compatible. That means you can connect IBAN account to any of the wallet which is Nostr Wallet compatible and buy and sell Bitcoin directly from the wallets. And our friends and partners, Opago, have integrated our off-ramping solutions to enable merchants to instantly get euros into their bank account, which is deal breaker for many merchants to start accepting Bitcoin. And I think it's one of the important factors for Bitcoin adoption. So we have a plugin on BTC Pay that allows merchants to get paid in Bitcoin from anywhere in the world and instantly receive euros into their IBAN account. And many such integrations with Zaprite coming soon. So our bigger vision is cross-border global remittance, which is moving fiat over Lightning between two states. So we all know that Lightning can disrupt the remittance industry. And it's going to be us, and it's going to be soon. I'll tell you exactly why. So Bitcoin sells at a premium in countries like Africa, Philippines, India, Indonesia. With this arbitrage, we can provide a remittance transaction at zero cost for the users, with still making more than 1%, which is a huge revenue potential and a great go-to-market strategy to enter the market. And there are no established corridors between Europe and Africa, which is, again, an underserved market and a potential for us to penetrate the market. And I have lived as an expat in 2 different European countries. I have great market insights. I have moved funds from India to Estonia and Estonia to India. I've used Wise, Revolut, and Bitcoin. And Bitcoin had been the most efficient way to move funds. And of course, Lightning Network capacity has been increasing. It has doubled from last 2 years. And it's going to only increase exponentially with time, fully capable to help us with the remittance transactions. So Q1 of 2022, Visa crypto debit cards did $2.5 billion in volume, which indicates that people want to spend Bitcoin and in huge number. And this is 2 years ago. It has only increased right now. And Europe to outward flow remittance is $250 billion in volume. And it's only increasing every year, at least by 5%. So I'm not alone. I have a team. We are a team of young Bitcoin enthusiasts. Average age of the team is less than 28. We have a lot of energy and enthusiasm to build, ship things faster. These are our amazing advisors and investors, Stephen Levera and Chris Hunter, backed us at early days, still supporting us. We recently onboarded Anwar Abdullah, who's a UX research lead at Ledger, helping us with UX strategy, and our own Daniel Wingen, helping us with go-to-market strategy. We are raising a 500K pre-seed to launch debit card program and give a better version of Bringin to at least 10,000 paying customers in Europe. And there are so many cool things that you can do with Bringin, and I couldn't choose one video to display. So please scan the QR code to see the magic yourself. Thank you.
Almost make me want to open an account right now, but let's see if the judges have some serious questions that are going to make me change my mind. Do you have some question?
Yeah, I think, so I want to make sure I'm clear with the remittance payment corridors that you're talking about.
Sorry, I couldn't hear. Could you please tell again?
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the remittance payment corridor that you're talking about between Africa and the EU. So you guys are helping with the last mile towards settling into a bank account. When you're providing that, you're saying specific to any sort of remittance corridor that could work for IBAN or SEPA account offboarding into the fiat system?
So if I understand the question correctly, you're asking about the corridors which we are going to start with.
Right. Because when I was understanding it, I was caught a little bit off guard when you brought up the corridor piece. And so how are you integrating this into the business versus just integrating with general wallets and working with them, if that makes sense?
I'm sorry, it's very hard to understand the questions because the voice is not very clear. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for the remittance payment model, because it seems like this is a back-end infrastructure. Right. You're working business to business on some things, but then you're talking about a remittance business model as well. How are you thinking about that? Who would you be working with specifically on that? Are you acquiring customers direct?
Right. So for the banking, we are not a financial service company. We work with financial services. We focus on the technology, mainly to integrate with wallets. To get, we mainly focus on technology. So we outsource the financial services to other companies at the moment. And eventually, we will get our own licenses, EMI, WASP, to do whatever it takes. We will acquire a stack ourselves in Europe. So coming to remittance, so we will get started with using other financial services in other countries, like Bitnob in Africa and their off-ramping providers in India and more. Eventually, we will acquire the license and do so ourselves.
Got it, okay. And then, okay, Wolf.
Thank you very much. So I have a similar question, but can you talk a little bit about the regulatory aspects of this? So you described this as a technology business, not a financial services business. But if, I can open the app and move money around, I don't know if regulators will necessarily agree with that. But are you working with partners who carry licenses and do some sort of KYC, or what is the relationship like there?
Yes, so we work with two kind of partners. One is WASP license holder, virtual asset service provider, who help us with exchange and holding Bitcoin custody. Another one is traditional EMI, electronic money institute license, who can provide IBAN account. So there is KYC, which satisfies both of these licenses. And that's why we're able to give IBAN account and that couple it with exchange and banking. So currently we are working with other license holders and we're using their services focusing on technology. But once we are super clear on what exactly we want to focus, we will acquire that ourselves. First, WASP in Lithuania, which is kind of easier than other countries, and eventually EMI.
Thank you. And then talking about maybe marketing for a second, you mentioned you have some background in marketing. Largely the remittances and payments.
Right.
Even though it's inefficient and expensive, is a very, very big, saturated market, and there are people who spend a lot of money to get in front of customers. Right. So what would you do to stand out? Like, how do you think about marketing this product and getting users on the platform?
Right, for sure. Remittance has been a very savage industry. People fighting for every single percentage, and it's already saturated. But Lightning has a capability to disrupt the market because it increases the overall efficiency. We're not just giving one USP, right? So it's instant settlement. We don't have to deal with maintaining floats in every different country, and then moving that huge number of floats to other country for over wire, dealing with compliance and everything. Overall efficiency is insanely high with Lightning. It's instant settlements and stuff. And as I told, we are going to start with Europe to outward remittance. The arbitrage allows us to give the transaction at zero price, which is a great go-to-market strategy. It's like, as an Indian living in Estonia, I understand that what matters really for remittance transaction is the price and how quickly it's going to reach my parents or my brother. So now, if I give it for free, the customer acquisition cost is so less. So, and back India to Estonia, there is no corridors. I had to use Bitcoin to get Bitcoin here and then liquidate in the exchanges. Because compliance in Europe is really hard, India to Estonia corridors or Africa to Estonian corridors doesn't exist. You can create that with Bitcoin and Lightning. And also, opening up new corridors is so much easier compared to maintaining floats in different things. Due to this efficiency, we are going to eventually, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's going to be like we put a product and we'll have to do a lot of work, but we have a great go-to-market strategy with 0% remittance transaction, and efficiency makes it easier for us to compete.